A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. In dreams you will lose your heartache. Whatever you wish for, you keep. Have faith in your dreams, and someday, your rainbow will come smiling through. No matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing, the dream that you wish will come true.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sports.
And they're off. He's going to run the first 4-minute mile. And look at the start that Samuelson gets.
On the streets of Monaco, Ayrton Senna is number one.
The thrill of victory.
The first time an American, only Midori Ito has completed a triple axel in competition.
And the agony of defeat.
Look out! Look at his nose! Oh, baby, what a terrible fall.
The human drama of athletic competition.
Kerrigan! Maybe a gold medal.
In our 31st year, this is ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Most of the competitors arrived here last Sunday. And for them, it's been a busy week in Orlando, Florida. There's been some time for socializing, but the obligations, as always, have had precedent. The never-ending training and practicing with media relations thrown in as well. And tonight it all culminates as ABC's Wide World of Sports brings you the United States Figure Skating Championships presented by Diet Coke and NutraSweet. I'm Al Michaels, and welcome back to the Orlando Arena for more skating as these championships continue. We had 90 minutes of skating this afternoon on Wide World of Sports, and 2 hours coming your way tonight. The competition should be terrific. We're going to, first of all, look back at the Pairs Championship, which was concluded on Thursday night. We'll take a look at our Olympic team in that event. Highlighting our schedule tonight, the Ladies Championship coverage coming your way live a little bit later. And we'll review the men's Olympic team decision, because the men skated this afternoon, and when the competition ended, Christopher Bowman was on top. He is the national champion for 1992. Paul Wiley finished second. Mark Mitchell finished third. Normally, in an Olympic year, the top three would represent the Olympic team. Not so this year, because Bowman and Wiley will be joined by Todd Eldridge, the national champion in 90 and 91, who had to withdraw because of a bad back. Mitchell becomes the alternate. Why? The International Committee of the United States Figure Skating Association was empowered to do this because of this rule. In the event of illness or injury to a world medalist of the previous year, and Eldridge was, a skater placing in the top three of the current nationals could possibly be displaced by another skater. So Mitchell is out. He is the alternate, and Eldridge goes to Albertville, France to compete for the United States next month. More on the men later, but tonight's feature event, of course, is the ladies. Now, they skated their original programs last night. Best of all was Christy Yamaguchi, the reigning world champion. She is on top. Nancy Kerrigan is currently second. Tanya Harding is third. And then Tisha Walker, Lisa Irvin, and Tonya Kwatkowski. We will see all of them in action live tonight. But let's look back at the best performance in the original program that was turned in by Christy Yamaguchi. And here's the way Dick Button, Peggy Fleming, and I called it last night.
As Christy Yamaguchi gets set to skate her original program, Nancy Kerrigan has the lead. Tanya Harding is second. And here is Christy Yamaguchi, who has never won a national title. She was second in 89, second in 90, second in 91, but did win the World Championship last March.
She's a very delicate and complete skater with such grace, but yet very strong.
Competitive aspect of this competition, this move is crucial right here. Triple Lutz, double toe, and she did it. That will probably put her in first place following the original program.
In this next move, a double flip jump. Watch her arms over her head. Very nice landing position. Very much in control, very calm.
She's skating beautifully, just beautifully.
Jump, double axel. Oh, very clean program.
Well, artistry comes into play when the technique is there. Isn't that nice?
Wonderful package.
Beautiful moment for her, just beautiful.
And that's why Christy Yamaguchi has the lead as we prepare for the free skating portion of the ladies' final. So Christy is in good shape, but what about Tanya Harding? She was last year's champion. However, she's had problems in Orlando over the last couple of days. She injured her ankle in practice yesterday. Then last night in the original program, she fell coming out of her triple axel. And earlier today at about 1:30 this afternoon, she was practicing that same move and fell again. I'm joined by Dick Button. Dick, what do you think of Tanya's chances tonight?
Well, I think they're very good. They're good for all of the young ladies. The real question is, why would Tanya Harding attempt a triple axel when it isn't necessary, and its failure could cost her greatly? Well, the answer is because she's a dedicated, gutsy, true blue competitor. It would never occur to her to eliminate something merely because it's difficult or dangerous. She knows both the value of the prize and the price that she must pay for it.
And the price she is paid right now is that she's in third position, trailing Christy Yamaguchi and Nancy Kerrigan. And I'm joined by Peggy Fleming. And what do you think of Yamaguchi's chances tonight and Kerrigan's chances, Peggy?
Well, Christy's depth in choreography and her command over the ice really showed through in this program. But Christy's never won this title before. And then there's Nancy Kerrigan's elegant performance, which left her in second. And this leads to a very interesting competition tonight. You know, Nancy has quietly climbed the ladder of success. And for the first time, she finds herself in a position to win the national title. However, if Nancy, Christy, and Tanya all skate inspired long programs, the judges will have to decide whether to award the gold to the best jumper or to the best complete skater.
And live coverage of the ladies' final coming up a little later. But when we come back, we'll look at the pairs. Back in Orlando coming up later, and it will be live coverage of the ladies' final. But first up, we're going to go back to Thursday night and show you competition in the pairs event. After they had skated their original programs Wednesday, the standings looked like this, and the original programs were worth 1/3 of the total score. Natasha Kuchiki and Todd Sand, last year's champions, had the lead. Jenny Mino and Scott Wendland were second. Kala Urbanski and Rocky Marvel were third. Now performances from the free skating portion, as Dick and Peggy and I called it Thursday night. This pair performed very well in the original program. In fact, they are second coming into the free skating portion now as we look at Jenny Mino, who's 21 years old, originally from Ohio, and her partner, 26-year-old Scott Wendland from Costa Mesa, California. They both train under John Nix, who also coaches Natasha Kuchiki and Todd Sand, the pair that this pair is chasing.
And their technical merit, their technical ability will be shown right here as individual skaters with side-by-side double axels. And on this next move, a split triple twist, a very dangerous move. Watch the way she steps back to pole vault herself into the air right there.
They're a very appealing pair team in that short program we saw the other night. They had this crowd, and it was a standing ovation. It was very exciting. They can be very electric. Now here it is, the most difficult side-by-side triple toe loop. That's too bad that she fell on that. She should have been stronger at that. She was a single skater just 2 years ago.
Well, the reason she's no longer a single skater is because she wasn't so strong in the triple jump. That's why she moved to pair skating.
Jenny Mino and Scott Wendland skating together only since the spring of 1990. Last year, they shocked everyone by finishing third in the Nationals. Went on to finish 10th in the World Championships. And here they are trying to make the Olympic team.
Their choice of music is wonderful. It's from Robin Hood, the movie soundtrack. Do this forward inside death spiral so well. Very nice arch.
And a nice hand for Jenny Mino and Scott Wendland, who were second after the original program. We'll be back with their marks after this.
5.5.
The marks for Jenny Mino and Scott Wendland for technical merit are fair, ranging from 5.4 up to 5.7. And now they await their marks for the composition and style.
Well, it just wasn't a great performance. They made too many mistakes in it to put themselves into contention for winning this event.
And those marks are all 5.6s and 5.7s.
5.7.
Now a most unusual pair. 31-year-old Carla Urbanski, a cocktail waitress, and 26-year-old Rocky Marvel, who owns a trucking firm. Let's have a closer look with Julie Moran.
On the ice, Carla Urbanski skates in perfect unison with her partner, Rocky Marvel. Away from the rink, their differences extend far beyond their taste in clothes. She's the fire, he's the ice.
Yeah, we have pretty much separate lives off the ice. We have our jobs. We have our...
Different friends.
Yeah.
Very different friends.
The differences in their personalities have been a benefit to their skating. While she sells the duo with her smile and exuberance, he provides a rock-solid foundation.
I feel I have it more together on the ice at times, and she has it more together off the ice. She gets a little out of control, so to speak. Her mind works faster than her legs or her body can move, so that's what... And I just try to keep the team at a nice, even keel.
I'll hold the bag, you give the buttons.
This week in Orlando, Carla and Rocky have been converting any and all non-believers into fans. But at the age of 31, senior citizen status in skating, she isn't quite ready to pin all of her hopes on making the Olympic team.
All the way through the summer and early fall, and we started doing a few things with, media, and we get, more press. But we were so afraid to say the O word. And everyone's like, oh, you're going, and it's like we did not want to say, it was just like...
But the old lady of figure skating may soon be able to say those sweet words, I'm an Olympian.
And on the ice now, Carla Urbanski and Rocky Marvel in third place after the original program. They've been skating together since 1990. Last year at the championships in Minneapolis, they finished second, looking to do better in 92.
Well, they're very competitive and very enthusiastic team. Watch their speed and their power and the height that she gets on a lot of her lifts and jumps. Now, this is one of their spectacular-looking throw triple loops. The height and the distance that she gets is really beautiful.
problems that they've had in past competitions has been on their side-by-side double axels. Remember, that's a very difficult jump because of the forward edge. Here they come, side by side, 2.5 revolutions. He doubled it, she singled it.
And that was also the move that gave them the problems in the original program. She fell on that jump.
Last year, Urbanski and Marvel won the free skating portion of the competition, but Kuchiki and Sand had a big enough lead in the original program phase to win it all. But tonight, if they finish first in this phase, they will win it all.
They're really quite unique with some of their lifts. They have developed some moves that are quite unusual. This move coming up is called a pendulum lift. Starts without any lifting or stretching from the ice on her part. Right here. That requires a great deal of strength.
It's very inventive.
Side-by-side combination jump. This portion of the program has a little less finesse than what we will expect to see in their Olympic competition, the Russian and Canadian pairs. But overall, this is really a striking program. Really a first-rate program for them, isn't it?
And a difficult ending pose, too.
And they know they've done very well, very well.
Well, they were the best in free skating last year. We'll return in a moment for the marks for Kala Urbanski from Chicago and Rocky Marvel from New Egypt, New Jersey, training in Delaware under coach Ron Ludington.
ABC's Wide World of Sports continues from Orlando, Florida.
Kala Urbanski and Rocky Marvel taking a look at their marks for technical merit, all 5.7s and 5.8s, and along with coach Ron Ludington, now awaiting the marks for composition and style.
The judges' marks for composition
those
and style.
marks range from 5.7 through 5.9, so they're in first place for the moment, still awaiting the performance of Kuchiki and Sand, but good enough to move in front of Mino and Wendland. And here's Julie.
Kala and Rocky, last night you fell on your side-by-side double axels. You had a little problem there tonight. What happened? How did you compose yourself and put it back together?
We want this, and so we had to do it. We're good coming from behind, and we just gave it all we had.
How did it feel when that crowd was on their feet?
I love that feeling. That is why I skate for the people.
Thanks for joining us. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Now the final pair, Natasha Kuchiki, 15 years old from Canoga Park, California, and her partner Todd Sand, who is 28. He's from Costa Mesa, California. They first skated together in 1990 when they finished second in the U.S. Nationals. Then they won the title last year. And again, they were first after the original program Wednesday, but must win this phase of the competition to retain their national title.
They performed disastrously at the Skate America Championship earlier this fall. One of the worst performances I've ever seen. That throw triple loop was nice, but their problem in the Skate America Championship was on this split triple twist coming up here. Watch particularly the way she stretches back. It's a short stretch, doesn't give her enough height. She does not complete the revolution by the time she lands.
Now side-by-side double axels. Oh, he fell. This is probably going to cause them a lot of trouble.
Overhead lift. Not particularly good position. Since she has grown taller, they are more suited to each other physically.
Coming up is a swan star split lift combination, and watch the exit. Most innovative. Watch how she exits the lift, resting on his feet.
And it's that kind of thing that's not going to help their chances in this competition. Well, this young pair seems very tentative and a trifle slow in this competition. That's not going to stand them well when they compete against the Russian and Canadian pairs at the Olympic Games. And I'm afraid they need that confidence if they're going to do well at the Olympics.
Well, this is a relatively new routine. It's only 4 months old, and it always takes quite a while for a team to really blend and make this second nature. And they just seem a little rough around the edges with this and not comfortable.
Well, now, that kind of a mistake on a very simple double flip clearly is going to cost them dearly. They'll have trouble even holding on to second place.
Well, it just doesn't seem to be their night tonight. They're just not really on.
Last year, Kuchiki and Sand did not skate that well in the free skating portion of the competition in Minneapolis, but held on to win the national title. That doesn't figure to be the case this time around. Their marks when we come back. There are the marks for technical merit for Kuchiki and Sand, and they're very ordinary, 5.4 through 5.7. And looking on from the wings, a pair with a vested interest, Kala Urbanski and Rocky Marvel, who stand to win the national championship, because the marks coming up now for composition and style are not good enough for Kuchiki and Sand, ranging from 5.5 through 5.7. They have dropped to third. Urbanski and Marvel have won the national title. Mino and Wendland finished second. Kuchiki and Sand are third as we join Julie Moran.
Did being the defending national champion was the pressure there for you tonight?
A little bit, yeah. We had 2 goals when we came here. We wanted to make the Olympic team, and we wanted to defend our title. I think we've done one of those.
And there she is, Kala Urbanski, who with partner Rocky Marvel, this unlikely pair winning the national title. She's a cocktail waitress. He owns a trucking company. They're on their way to France, along with Mino and Wendland, who finished second. Kuchiki and Sand finished third. So those 3 pairs will represent the United States in the upcoming Olympic Games in France. A look at some of the other finishers as we go back to Julie Moran with the national champions.
Kala, at 31, did you ever think you'd realize your dream of making the Olympic team?
Not at 31, but it's great. It's a fantastic way to go.
Rocky, Kala's the cheerleader. You're the conservative one. You keep the couple grounded. How did you accomplish that?
I don't think I have a choice. She just sort of takes over, and I just follow along.
Congratulations and best of luck in Albertville.
Thank you very much.
That all took place Thursday in the pairs competition. Now we're live again at the Orlando Arena, Orlando, Florida, as these U.S. figure skating championships continue. The ladies' final coming up very shortly. Well, right now we'd like to take a moment to extend our best wishes to Natalie Siebold. A member of the 1988 Olympic team, Natalie was diagnosed last week with a benign brain tumor. The tumor will eventually be removed, but for now she'll continue to skate on tour. Natalie and her brother Wayne have been the pride of Marion, Indiana, and the people of Marion have played a prominent role in their success, holding numerous fundraisers over a 4-year period to help support their training. The Siebold's finished third at the 1988 U.S. Nationals to earn a trip to the Olympic Games, and they went on to finish 10th in Calgary. Natalie, our thoughts are with you. Let's finish up what we started this afternoon. Many of you on Wide World of Sports were with us for the men's final. Christopher Bowman is the national champion. Paul Wiley finished second. Those 2 will go to France. Mark Mitchell finished third. However, because Todd Eldridge had to withdraw because of an injury, and he had won a medal at last year's World Championships, he was eligible to be named to the team. When we went off the air, that was still up in the air, but at about 6:30 local time, the committee empowered to do so, the International Committee of the U.S. Figure Skating Association, did indeed name Todd Eldridge to the team. Mark Mitchell will be the alternate. And earlier, Julie Moran had a chance to talk with both Todd and Mark.
Todd, you must be relieved with the decision.
Yes, definitely. I'm happy that the committee decided this way, and I'll just work my hardest to get my back better and go on to the Olympics.
Mark, you were in a similar situation last year, having just missed the world team. Do you think the decision was fair?
Well, I'm not really sure because I haven't spoken with anyone yet, but Todd, he's been, he was national champion 2 years in a row, and he was third at Worlds last year, and he's the reason why we were able to send 3 this year. So I'll just have to wait for 2 more years.
And in the darkness there, a live shot, Todd Eldridge. There is one kicker. He will be monitored by a couple of doctors, and they'll issue a final report on the 24th of January to make sure he can compete. He will be healthy for the upcoming Olympic Games. That's the story with the men. Now let's think ladies. And who better to get the thoughts of than one, Jack Whitaker. Hi, Jack.
Thank you, Al, very much. In the history of the Winter Olympic Games, only 4 American women have won the gold medal in figure skating. But never, since 1956, have American women been denied the championship over a longer period of time than now. It has been 16 years. The first American woman to wrest the gold from the Scandinavians and Europeans was a brilliant young woman from Boston. Tenley Albright won the United States Championship 5 times and capped her career with her winning performance at the Winter Games in '56. 4 years later, in the mountains of California, Carol Heiss, who had finished second to Albright in '56, found the winner's gold at Squaw Valley. In '61, there occurred the darkest day in the history of U.S. figure skating. The entire American team killed in an airplane crash in Brussels en route to the World Championships. But like the Phoenix, the United States rose again and 7 years later was back. The champion who took them there, the beauteous Peggy Fleming, who brought new artistry to the sport. In a valley town in Austria 8 years later, it was another American beauty, a young woman from Connecticut with a World Championship haircut who captivated the world. Dorothy Hamill became the 4th and last American woman to win the Olympic Championship. Since 1976, it has been the women from East Germany who have skated to the top. American women have been close. Linda Fradiani in 1980 and Rosalind Summers in 1984 both won silver medals, and in 1988 at Calgary, Debbie Thomas was a leading contender but could manage only a bronze against the formidable Fraulein Witt. Now, as we near the games in Albertville, there is no more East Germany. There are no more compulsory figures to skate, and America has 3 strong contenders in this day of strong athleticism in women's skating: Harding, Yamaguchi, and Kerrigan. Can one of them become the 5th American woman to win a gold medal and carry on what Tenley Albright began 36 years ago, when American women figure skaters first became the toast of the world? They begin the 2nd stage of their Olympic journey tonight.
Thank you, Jack. And still to come, we'll preview the ladies' contenders and then have live coverage of the ladies' final featuring 1991 World Championship medalists Kristi Yamaguchi, Tanya Harding, and Nancy Kerrigan. It's simple. The winner of tonight's free skating phase wins the title. First, another installment in our continuing series on what's new in sports science and technology. Live again, Orlando Arena, Orlando, Florida, home of the Orlando Magic and next month's NBA All-Star Game. This week, host to the All-Stars of figure skating, the U.S. Figure Skating Championships, in effect, the Olympic trials. Now, last night, the ladies skated their original programs. That's worth 1/3 of the overall score. So the standings look like this as we begin competition tonight. Kristi Yamaguchi has the lead. Nancy Kerrigan is 2nd. Tanya Harding is 3rd. If they remain that way, they'd represent the U.S. in Albertville. Tisha Walker is 4th. Lisa Irvin is 5th. And Tanya Kwatkowski is 6th. Now, they'll skate in this order, and the order was determined by a blind draw. Yamaguchi will go first. Then we'll see Harding. Then comes Walker. Irvin skates 4th. Kerrigan skates 5th. And Kwatkowski will be 6th. Again, the top 3 make the U.S. Olympic team. Well, the American ladies did spectacularly well last March in the World Championships in Munich, Germany. For more on that, here's Julie Moran. Julie?
Never before in the history of the World Championships has one country swept the medals in the ladies' division. Never before, that is, until 1991, when Americans Kristi Yamaguchi, Tanya Harding, and Nancy Kerrigan stole the show. And since then, their lives have been dramatically different.
It's so hard for me to believe that I'm actually the world champion.
The historic accomplishment of the American trio launched them into the world of commercial endorsements, financial opportunities that were once unavailable to amateurs. But many of their appearances have been far removed from the national spotlight, from local skating competitions to stints on the local news.
I'm Tanya Harding for Celebrity Broadcaster Week.
3 women, forever linked as athletes, yet dramatically different as individuals. They come from both sides of the country and different types of families, and each has been molded by the environment she grew up in. Kristi Yamaguchi's world once revolved around her hometown of Fremont, California, But her skating took her to Edmonton in 1989, leaving her family behind. She lived with her coach, Christy Ness, and her husband for 2 years. But this summer, at the age of 20, she moved out on her own and faced the responsibilities of adulthood for the first time. Christy is in Edmonton, however, for one reason, to skate. And she does that at the Royal Glenora Club, which has drawn skaters from around the world. It's also home to 3-time world champion Kurt Browning of Canada.
It's been wonderful for my training. It's a good group of kids. We're all here for the skating. A lot of us are from other parts of the world, so skating is the first important thing.
While her fellow skaters motivate Christy on the ice, their helping hand extends off it as well. The U.S. national champion resides not in Edmonton, but in Portland, Oregon. Tanya Harding rocked the skating community in '91 when she won the national title, but her success has led to a year of turmoil. She filed for divorce from her husband Jeff this June, then reconciled with him in October. In the spring, she announced she was leaving Dodie Teachman to coach herself, only to rejoin her 7 weeks later.
It was really hard because I went through a lot of, emotional state. It was really hard. And, everything is back in shape. I mean, people were pulling me in different directions and everything, and I didn't know what to do.
While she and Teachman have been reunited, their relationship has changed.
I need to be in charge of my skating. This is my life. And it's the same with my coach. She's there to teach me, and when I need help, I'm the employer, and she's my employee. And that's the way it should be.
A continent away in Stoneham, Massachusetts, live the Kerrigans, a close-knit, working-class family. And the baby of the clan has always been Nancy. From an early age, her brothers wanted to turn her into an ice hockey player, but her parents thought figure skating was more appropriate. Her success in '91 proved that decision wise.
I was very proud. I was in tears. I was very, very happy. Not for us as much as anything. It was just for Nancy, because she's worked so damn hard for what she's earned so far.
Her mother and best friend Brenda is legally blind and sees only images on the ice.
My mom's probably like my best friend. It's nice because I don't know a lot of friends that have their relationship with their mothers, that close. And I tell her everything. No secrets. So I'm lucky.
From Nancy Kerrigan on tape to Nancy Kerrigan live now, as she has begun warming up in Orlando, as has the defending champion Tanya Harding, third after the original program, and the reigning world champion Christy Yamaguchi. Coming up, live coverage of the ladies' final after an ABC news brief, and this from our ABC stations. Along with Dick Button and Peggy Fleming, the competitors, the prime competitors, are concluding their warm-ups out on the ice. And Dick, first of all, let's take a look at Christy Yamaguchi, who skated brilliantly last night, and what we can expect to see from her performance tonight.
Well, she has a very difficult program. You can see the list of triple jumps that she has scheduled for that program, but look particularly at the last triple Salchow. That's because she's had trouble with that jump. She missed it at the Nationals last year, at the Trophy La Ligue, and at Skate America. She's been having trouble with it. It would be disastrous if it failed her tonight.
Well, she's a very complete skater. Watch how she just skates around, how she uses her hands, how she extends and holds moves out. Watch the landing. She really holds the positions. Very nice.
Now let's take a look at Tanya Harding. We've discussed the fact that she injured her ankle. She fell yesterday. What about her elements tonight,
She's
Dick?
taking her time right here because she's first up. The first thing off is that triple axel, the famous triple axel. You can see how important that is. But the final double axel has been a difficult one for her because she loses concentration, and suddenly she forgets that she has to do the simplest of all jumps. It can be a very, very difficult thing if she doesn't maintain full concentration right through to the end of the program.
Well, Tanya has power in all parts of her skating. Look how she gathers speed just in these crossovers. So her in-between moves are going to be very powerful, as well as her jumps.
Look at this right here. Now, this is a preparation right there for her triple axel. And she almost did it. It just kind of fell out.
Dick, briefly, the program elements now for Nancy Kerrigan as we look at her.
And doesn't she look beautiful there in that very elegant dress? Well, here are her program elements. Now, we've highlighted the triple Lutz because that's the most difficult triple jump, I think, that she does. And it comes quite late in the program. She also is wonderfully elegant. Look, right here, she's doing a triple Lutz. Yeah. Oh, very nice.
And she just flows through her triple Lutz and does it in a very ladylike manner and very classical line. You're going to love her.
It's pretty ladylike, but she does get height on it. She does get a spring in it.
Does.
And a delay. We just saw that in that practice one right there.
We'll
Good height.
We'll
Good height.
be seeing Tisha Walker as well. We'll see Lisa Irvin and Tanya Kwatkowski as the warm-up period comes to a conclusion.
That is Tanya Kwatkowski.
So here we go as Christy Yamaguchi gets to skate first. Again, this was determined by a blind draw. She is the leader. They begin the night chasing her, and she'll try to make sure that they'll chase her for the rest of the evening as well with a good performance in the free skating phase.
Remember, that blind draw is just among the top ladies.
She's a very complete skater, very detailed, and a beautiful program that's choreographed very well with lots of character.
Her first combination, this double, triple, first a triple Lutz, and then a half turn before the triple toe loop. The half turn in between means it doesn't get quite the same amount of credit. Beautifully done.
This is an excellent example at her beautiful style, how she holds things out.
Every triple. This is a flip. Beautiful, effortless, soft. She really settles very gracefully onto the ice, doesn't she? Seldom sees a flying fifth spin.
Without using your arms to brace yourself as you go down in the sit position makes it even more difficult. Very solid opening. Yes, she's lost her bow. I hope she doesn't skate over that, because when your blade hits something like that, you can definitely fall. But I think she can probably see it pretty obviously.
This free program worth 2/3 of the final overall score. It's about 4 minutes in duration.
Very difficult opening into a triple loop jump. She'll do a back bend. And now into a triple loop.
the move that has been so difficult for her in past championships. This triple Salchow. Good girl. That was very nice.
That's a lot of emotion to see out of Christy. Usually she's very, very calm, very much in control, but you could see the excitement when she finished that.
He has one final exceedingly difficult move, this triple Lutz. And she has really completed this program exceptionally well so far. Just marvelous to see this. Very nice. Isn't that wonderful? You know, to come to a national championship and then skate your best during that performance, that's really the name of the game, isn't it? And it was such a beautifully complete program all the way around. Choreography, style, elegance, just floated beautifully on the ice. She does indeed float like a leaf.
Dorothy Hamill showing her appreciation. Christy Ness, her coach.
And this is slow motion of Christy's triple lip. Look at how she reaches back. Good tight legs. Very, very nice. And so much trouble she's had on her triple Salchow over the past year. Here it is. Watch her swing now and lift it up. Still a little bit to the side, but nice. Very well done. And then at the end of her program, this triple Lutz. Good one. Good one. Very nice. Good all-around program. Everything was in place. Well, that kind of sets up the evening, doesn't it?
Well, it certainly does.
Through a blind draw, she was first in the door and may have closed the door behind her. And while she was skating, Tanya Harding, backstage, who suffers from asthma, and we just taped this moments ago, needed her inhaler. And so Tanya fighting that battle. A slight ankle sprain. There she is live now as she awaits her performance, but before that we'll see Yamaguchi scores.
You know, it's well known that the national championship is the toughest competition for American skaters for the whole year. Much tougher than the World Championship.
And Christie's never won it. That's why it has particular significance for her. The marks are all 5.8 outside of 1.5.7. So very consistent marks for technical merit for Yamaguchi.
Those marks are very respectable, yet high enough to give subsequent skaters more marks should they deserve it.
Now the artistic and style should be much higher.
Oh,
and they are 6.0.
And there's a six from judge number 6.
1.6, 1.5.8, and 7.5.9 for Christy Yamaguchi, who is all but the official national champion. She waves to the crowd. Let's get a word from her with Julie Moran. Julie?
Christy, you've been second here 3 years in a row. What would it mean to finally win this?
Well, I think the most important thing is that I went out there. This is probably the best I've ever skated at U.S. Nationals. So I'm very excited, and, you know, at least I know I probably have a place on the team.
Congratulations and best of luck.
That's sweet, isn't it?
Well, the irony is she's won a world title, but never a national title. But officially, that should be less than 45 minutes away.
Okay, look at this now.
Tanya Harding, fighting for a spot on the Olympic team. She is third after the original program. Again, in effect, these are the Olympic trials. Top 3 in all probability go to Albertville. Here she goes.
very, very positive attitude and a lot more complicated life than a lot of these other women competing here.
She also has a very nice sense of style. You know, it's in good position. And of course, this jump coming up will be the name of the game here, her triple axel. That's the same type of fall that she took during practice yesterday.
Well, now she's got to stay focused and complete the rest of this program, which is very important for her to hold on to her place. Her coach said she had brand new skates, so they're not totally broken in, and she also has blades that were designed by MK. They're called Vantage, and notice that they're gold.
This combination, it was intended to be a combination. It was simply a double toe loop.
Barbara Flowers choreographed this routine. Very nice, simple choreography. I think that really suits Tanya's style, which is strong and athletic.
A triple loop jump, and she doubled that. Now, this is not good that she's not doing these triple jumps, and I'm quite sure it's a result of her injury, because she doesn't give up and doesn't single out on or double out on triple jumps.
Remember, it is her right foot, her landing foot, that is in her injury.
That loop, of course, was right foot taking off and landing.
Totally that foot.
It's our understanding she hasn't even tasted it. The remedies have been simply aspirin and ice.
A lot will tell us about this move right here. That was nice.
Coming up is another one of her triple jumps. It's supposed to be a triple Salchow, maybe double or triple toe. Nice triple Salchow and a double toe.
That was clearly then the foot hurting, because she didn't even try to do a triple.
Right, she is not pushing like she usually is. That fire is just not there today. You can see on her face she's really trying very, very hard.
I have the feeling the fire is there, but the ankle probably is not.
Very frustrating.
Tanya Harding will not be defending her national championship. The question is, has she skated well enough to make the Olympic team? Still to be determined. Her marks when we come back.
And this is slow motion as she steps into this triple axel. Look at the height that she gets right there. But you can see there was nothing wrong with that jump. It's just that the ankle did not hold it. She gave no pressure to it whatsoever. Now, this is the triple Salchow. First, gets good height, good cross feet, everything is fine, and then instead of just being able to move right into it, she stepped and did a double toe. And here she is, of course, coming off the ice as she walked off the ice, and you can see that she's limping. But you know, she skated full out. She gave it everything that she could.
tried. She's that kind of skater.
Absolutely, and you don't see her in tears here because she didn't. This is a gutsy gal.
Yes, very much in control of what she can do, what she wants.
Here come the marks for technical merit. They're quite low.
Well, I don't understand a 5.3.
Two of them, in fact. 2 5.3s. And a pair of 5.7s. The others are all 5.6s.
Well, whatever it
across the
is,
board.
the whole thing depends upon where it ranks her within the framework of the other skaters, not how high or how low any one mark is.
But it has left some room. For artistic impression, her marks range from 5.6 through 5.8. For the moment, she is second behind Yamaguchi as we go to Julie.
Tanya, it's obvious you're in pain. You were limping off the ice. How much pain are you actually in?
I don't know what's wrong, but, I mean, it's okay. I went out and I did my best. And
how did you compose yourself after that triple? You really fought back in that program.
I really thought that, you know, I could just wing it and just do everything and let my body just take over instead of my mind telling me, well, it hurts, but it didn't work that way.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So for Tanya Harding now, the agonizing wait to see if she can finish at least third. Here is Tisha Walker. She's only 17 years old. She's a senior at Thousand Oaks High School in Southern California. She was fifth in the Nationals last year and skated with a stress fracture in her foot and came down with mono at the end of October, was off the ice for another 2 weeks. It's been a tough year, but she was fourth after the original program, and she has to see now if she can take advantage of what just happened to Tanya Harding.
Well, last year she had to skate after Tanya Harding had that fantastic performance and the crowd was on its feet. This year's quite different. Very nice triple flip. Some nice openings. And now a triple salchow.
Up.
Whoops.
Single one. If you're going to dislodge somebody, you cannot make mistakes. She ended up doing a single axle, then a double axle. No harm in that.
Walker of Thousand Oaks, California, skating in the national championships. What it amounts to mathematically is if she skates a better free program than Harding, she'll move into third place overall.
Now coming up, Ina Bauer into a triple loop. Triple toe. Nicely done.
Position. She needs this triple loop jump. I think that tells you that she will not pull up over Tanya Harding. She has doubled out, singled out of, and not done too many moves in this program for the judges not to realize that, and
this past week she had some problems with getting through her program. I think probably as a residual effect of having mono just recently. Now this is a test to endurance. She has planned a split jump triple toe
active performer on the ice.
Yes, she tries very hard.
But there's nothing essentially that sets her apart, the basic skating from other skaters. She certainly is pretty to watch.
Yes, very much so.
Tisha Walker had a chance to capitalize. Did it materialize? We'll find out in a moment. Tisha Walker's marks, as she looks on with her coaches Doug and Lori Varvace, are 5.2 through 5.5.
And you can pretty well tell that those are not going to displace Tonya Harding.
No, Harding is safe for the moment, though Lisa Irvin still has a chance to move ahead of Tonya Harding. Here come Walker's marks for artistic impression, and they range from 5.3 to 5.5. She does not displace Harding. So Yamaguchi still leads. Harding, for the moment, is second. Walker is third, but, of course, Kerrigan has yet to skate. Nancy comes in second place. But here is a lady, and we keep calling them ladies, by the way, because that is the official designation of the U.S. Figure Skating Association, not women. Here is Lisa Irvin, who's only 14 years old, from Cleveland, Ohio. And if she skates a better free program than Tonya Harding, she would move ahead of Harding.
Well, she was the novice national champion, and she was the junior national champion, and now she's in the senior ladies division, which is big time.
This is her first triple, a triple toe. She certainly did not reach back on the entrance to that. That was quite surprising.
And she is coached by Carol Heiss Jenkins. Carol was a novice national champion and a junior champion, and this is what, and she won the Olympics in 1960. And this is what Lisa aspires to be, is just like her coach.
Triple loop jump from the back outside edge, but she did that. She held on to it.
Well, she wasn't going very fast, so that makes it even more difficult. finishing off moves in the throw part and as well as in the back footwork part.
That was planned to be a triple. It ended up being a double. Again, remember, there are no marks taken off because a skater does a lesser jump. It just doesn't add to their position. This is a triple toe combination with a double toe loop.
It's a real endurance test to attempt to do those triples at the end of a 4-minute program. She was very cute.
14-year-old Lisa Irvin.
Very nice.
She just looked so sophisticated, but at the end you could see she was 14. Very charming girl. Very charming girl. There's Ty Babylonia, of course. Darcy Hamill.
Lisa Irvin of Cleveland, Ohio. Back with her scores in a moment as Wide World of Sports returns after a word from our ABC station.
Sports continues live from Orlando, Florida.
And this is the triple toe loop that she did. The turn in between the two jumps cuts down the difficulty of it, but they were very nice, very neat, and she should be very proud of them, and certainly her coach Carol Heiss Jenkins is. You can see her right here, a smile from ear to ear. Isn't that nice?
Lisa Irvin, born April 20th, 1977. Sounds impossible, doesn't it?
Yes.
14 years old. Her marks upcoming for technical merit range from 5.4 through 5.6, and that meets with the crowd's disapproval.
Well, I'm assuming the crowd think that they're too low. Actually, her difficulty was not up with some of the others. There were certain layouts there, I think.
But I think she has just such a charming personality. I think the audience just really liked her.
She's adorable.
Oh, yeah. Here come the marks. This will determine whether she goes to Albertville or not, and they range from 5.3 through 5.7, and they are not high enough to move her past Tanya Harding. So Harding is in good shape now because she has withstood the challenges.
But they do move her.
Lisa Irvin and Tisha Walker.
Right.
For the moment, they move her into third place, but Nancy Kerrigan has yet to skate. So Lisa Irvin, for the moment, in third position as we take a look at Nancy Kerrigan, who was second after the original program, trying to win a spot on the Olympic team. She was third in last year's Nationals, and then went on to finish third in the World Championships in Munich. Nancy Kerrigan, 22 years old, from Stoneham, Massachusetts.
Doesn't she look elegant?
Oh, she looks like a little angel. Very feminine, very ladylike style, and yet very much the athlete. She opens up with a triple flip jump.
And she usually gets very good height on this. Watch the toe pick. That was a double.
Now she's got to concentrate and control and do the rest of the program. Because the next jump coming up is a triple combination. Triple toe, triple toe. Well, she landed with one of them.
And with the three turns coming out of it, that won't help too much. triple jump, a Salchow. Here it is. That was very
nice.
Beautiful, wasn't it?
I love her landings when her arms just are at such a gorgeous position, very much in control.
Very laid back. Now she has one final truly difficult move, this triple Lutz. And she doubled it and then did a double toe loop. That was pretty.
Nice triple loop. Her costume was designed by Vera Wang. She was a former skater and turned costume and wedding dress designer in Madison Avenue. So this is her first attempt at doing skating costumes. I think she's done very nicely.
There it is. There was that triple toe.
This wasn't even scheduled in the program, at least ahead of time for us.
That shows she's a pretty competitive young lady.
Very different ending. Ends in this spiral position. Isn't she beautiful?
Well, she certainly made up for a lot of the misses earlier in the program.
Certainly did. There's a dad.
adding those moves in saved it, didn't it?
Her dad, Dan Kerrigan, was clapping. Her mother, Brenda Kerrigan, who is legally blind. That was a live shot. There she is again. She has to get that close to the monitor to see her daughter. And she's applauding what figures to be a trip to France. Nancy Kerrigan waving to the crowd her marks in a moment.
And this is slow motion of the combination spread eagle triple loop jump. Now look at her turn right to this back outside edge and tight, clean, neat jump. Very, very pretty position on the landing. And this was the other triple jump that she did. Triple toe, double toe.
Nancy Kerrigan awaiting her scores. With Mary Debbie Stadvold, her coaches, 5 6s and 5 7s across the board for technical merit for Nancy.
Those are quite solid marks. With the exception of Christy Yamaguchi, none of the girls skated perfectly tonight.
But she probably skated well enough to finish second. She figures to move into that spot after these marks appear for artistic impression, and they are.
I think she will.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed,
without a doubt. Between 5'7" and 5'9", mainly 5'8". She is second behind only Yamaguchi, with Harding now third. Nancy Kerrigan very pleased with those marks. And so, mathematically, it will be Yamaguchi, Kerrigan, and Harding.
The audience has just seen that Nancy Kerrigan is in second place.
Right. The reason for that burst of applause. And Tanya Kwatkowski will now be our final skater, but mathematically she cannot finish in the top 3. Before we go off the air, Peggy, let's make mention of Jill Trenner. She was a national champion in '89, but has been hurt the last 2 years, and again, unable to compete.
Very disappointing not to see her here. I know she's watching today. Hi, Jill. We miss you.
Tanya Kwatkowski from Broadview Heights, Ohio. She's 20 years old, and in fact, Jill Trenery trained Kwatkowski. Right now, her coach is Carol Heights-Jenkins. She was 6th after the original program.
Very strong opening she's had. She's completed a triple flip already. Now a triple lutz. Up, and she just doubled it. She has a lot of enthusiasm. Real happy skater. She looks like she really enjoys doing this.
She has good speed. Combination, triple toe. Never set in for the decision for that. The beginning of it was way off.
You have to go in with a positive attitude to those jumps.
99 times out of 100, the problem of the jump is always in the entrance.
She looked very hesitant. Look at her leg position in that layback spin. Nicely turned out.
And behind.
Nice skating music. She skated to this music last year, and she liked it so much. She did it again this year. Of course, the music is Rhapsody in Blue.
Problem there was she just didn't reach back far enough to give her the height to make the revolution.
Triple toe loop at the end of this 4-minute program is always difficult. She is so pleasant to watch.
Tanya Kwatkowski wrapping up the competition. So it's Yamaguchi and Kerrigan and Harding, and moments ago, Yamaguchi and Tanya Harding both on their way to the Olympics.
Isn't that nice?
For Tanya Kwatkowski, her marks for technical merit ranged from 5.2 through 5.6, and now for composition and style, they range from 5.3 through 5.7. She will finish 5th. She does move in front of Tisha Walker. She had started the evening in 6th position after the original program. Thus, the final standings, the top 3 form the United States Olympic team. The national champion
is Christy Yamaguchi. She's been a world champion, a three-time national runner-up. She has finally won her first U.S. crown. Nancy Kerrigan finishes second, and last year's champion, Tanya Harding, finishes third. And some of the other finishers, Lisa Irvin finishes fourth, Kwatkowski finishes fifth, Tisha Walker sixth. One difference from the past is that they will go to a different schedule in terms of the Winter Olympics beginning in '94. There will not be a 4-year wait. The '94 Olympics will be held in Lillehammer, Norway. So keep some of those other names in mind. And while we await the award ceremonies and the interviews, let's get some final thoughts from Jack Whitaker. Jack?
Well, this championship began a little tenuously with the injuries to Jill Trenery and the defending male champion, Todd Eldridge, but it's turned out to be memorable from several standpoints. First of all, the committee selecting Eldridge, I think, was a very popular decision. We saw Christopher Bowman do a startling thing, skate a rather restrained program, which is like Madonna singing the Ave Maria straight. But I think the biggest thing, the one that gave this championship its character and personality, were our three women skaters. My, how different they are in styles and from what different backgrounds they come. We have the delicate wisp of beauty of Yamaguchi. We have the young Katharine Hepburn looks of Nancy Kerrigan, and the feisty, asthmatic, high school dropout, gallant Tonya Harding. They all got here by overcoming many obstacles, some of them financial, some of them others. But I think Tonya Harding put it best for all of them. If you have a dream, go for it. Not a particularly new philosophy, but my goodness, when you see it happen before your very eyes, it's magic. Al?
Thank you, Jack. And it did happen. It did happen for these three. Let's meet the Olympians. Here's Julie.
Al, I am down here with quite a trio. And Christy, winning the Worlds had to give you great confidence coming here.
Well, I don't know. Actually, Nationals is usually the toughest competition of the year, even tougher than the World. So I was just happy with the performance.
Did you expect to win it, or was this a surprise to you?
After I skated, I was like, well, you know, hopefully it's good enough to hold on to the top spot. But I was just really happy to make the team.
Nancy, you've been bronze at the Worlds, bronze last year. Did you expect to place second?
I don't know if I expected anything. I just was expecting to go out and skate how I've been training at home. I didn't, so I'm saving that for next time, I hope.
Tanya, I know this was a disappointing night for you. You've made the Olympic team, but was anything less than first and defending your title a disappointment to you?
Well, it's disappointing, but I'm just glad I made the team. I mean, as long as I made the team, that's all that matters. And I went out and did my best, and I guess that, you know, it was okay.
Well, this is the team that swept the World Championships. Hopefully you can do it again in Albertville. Back to you, Al.
All right, thank you, Julie. It is not 1,000% official, just 999%. They still have to vote, but you can count on it. That's our Olympic team. We'll be back.
Kerrigan.
finished?